softly.
Hey, listen!
What's up guys, it's Ozzy from OzTalksHW, and here is a brand new cookie cutter $275 gaming computer that you can build right now. So the inspiration behind this was I wanted to challenge myself to build a brand new gaming computer for under 300 bucks without any kind of deals that uses a modern CPU and a modern dedicated graphics card. This means that APUs are out of the question. Not that they're bad or anything, they're awesome, but I wanted to see if there's a different way of approaching this budget segment. And I gotta say, the final product it's pretty good. You can play games like Fortnite, Overwatch, World of Tanks, and Rainbow Six Siege at 1080p with decent settings and a decent frame rate. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this build right after this message. What's up guys, Future Ozzy here, and I'll be quick, but on Saturday, November 23rd, I'm gonna be live streaming to raise money for a nonprofit, Shellback Tech. Now, Shellback Tech is run by this awesome guy named Travis, and basically what he and his team does is they build computers for veterans who suffer with PTSD, anxiety, or depression, or they have any kind of physical ailments because of their term on battle. Travis found his safe haven in PC gaming as a veteran himself, and he wants to share that with other people. Now, despite being a pretty new organization, he's already built dozens of computers, but a lot of the money has come out of his own pocket. And so with this charity live stream, we're hoping to raise at minimum 1,500 bucks, at maximum, or not even a maximum, but hopefully reach 3,500. So they'll be able to apply fully for their 501c and be able to pay for a few bills that they have in store. If you guys are interested, I'll be live streaming on Twitch and on YouTube Saturday, November 23rd at around 5 p.m. Eastern time. So that's it for the short message. Now back to the build. This gaming PC is perfect for people who don't have a lot of money or they want to try PC gaming without breaking the bank. Now, if you want something even cheaper than the PC you see back there, then I will have a video with a $150 gaming PC that pretty much anyone can build coming out within a month or so. So make sure you subscribe, you have the bell notification so you'll be notified when that video comes out. Now, all of the parts that I'm using here will be listed and any alternatives or upgrades if needed. But with all that being said, let's just get right into the build. The CPU that we have is the Ryzen 1200, and I bought it for about 49 bucks shipped off AliExpress. As you can see, it's brand new and still in its seal. Now, AliExpress is a Chinese retailer, kind of similar to Amazon or eBay, and I understand why people would be uncomfortable buying their computer parts from there. So for an extra 10 bucks or so, you can get the same processor from Amazon or Newegg. The Ryzen 1200 is a quad core with a 3.1 gigahertz base and a 3.4 gigahertz boost. And although it's 2 years old, it's still an awesome CPU, especially for the price that we get it for. It also comes with the Wraith Stealth cooler, which is pretty decent for overclocking. The motherboard that I have for this build is the MSI B350M Pro VD Plus that I actually got as a combo deal with the Ryzen 1200 for 84 bucks total. Now that combo deal is still alive, but with shipping, it's not really worth it. So I recommend something else instead, and that's the Gigabyte A320M-S2H. The A320M-S2H is a very basic board that doesn't support overclocking. Unfortunately, it's just a sacrifice we have to make to stay under budget. I've also personally tested this board with a 3900X, a 12-core CPU part, and while I don't recommend it, after doing my personal tests, I definitely recommend any Ryzen 5 CPU with this board. For 58 bucks, it's definitely your best choice. RAM prices are dirt cheap right now, so I recommend any 2x4 gigabyte kit for a total of 8 gigs of DDR4 memory. Get the fastest memory you can afford. If you're not comfortable overclocking, then I recommend 2666 at minimum. The RAM that I have here is 2400, and I'm gonna push it up to 2066 at least when I actually build the computer. The video card that we have for this build is an absolute godsend, and this would not have been possible without it. It's actually the MSI Radeon R7 360 2GB version. It's only 40 bucks shipped, and it's brand new with a 60-day warranty. It provides about GTX 750 Ti performance, but it has a newer architecture and it has a warranty. So we're gonna try and push this to 1080p and see what we can get out of it, but I'm pleasantly surprised. The case that we have is the DIYPC Zonda B. I picked it up for about $29 shipped on Newegg during a sale. Now the sale isn't going on, so I'll post a few alternatives in the description that will give you similar performance and aesthetic as this case. It's not very sleek, it's not very modern, but it comes with a pre-installed fan, it has USB 3.0, and and it looks like the airflow isn't too bad. It will be perfectly fine for this build. For storage, we have a 240 gigabyte SSD. Now, the brand doesn't matter as much as the type of storage. Just make sure you pick up an SSD. Now, 240 gigs is not a lot of storage, I understand that, but this is a good starting point, and you can always add more storage in the future. And lastly, we have the power supply. It's the EVGA 450BR, which is basically the same power supply every budget build around this price point is going to recommend. I got it for about $39 on Office Depot, which was the cheapest at the time, but I believe it's that price on Amazon and Newegg right now. So the total for this entire computer when I bought it was about $276. That's about the cheapest you can get it if you use AliExpress. If you don't want to use AliExpress, it's probably going to cost you around $310, but it's still within a very viable range. With all of that being said, let's build this computer, let's test it, let's see how it performs, and let's move forward with final thoughts and any conclusions that we have. The first thing that I did when I turned on the computer was I went into the BIOS and I overclocked the memory. It's pretty simple. I went to the advanced version of my BIOS to overclock, and then I chose the XM Profile 2 specifically. That was defaulted at 2400 megahertz, so I changed it to 2666. I saved, and then I restarted. After that, I overclocked my GPU. I downloaded and installed MSI Afterburner, and I changed the core clock from 1000 megahertz to 1150, and then the memory clock from 1500 megahertz to 1600. Now that the computer is built, let's test a few games. So I'm doing it this way instead of having my standard benchmark graphs because I want you guys to see real life performance. And also this is easier to make too. So the settings that I'm using right now are 1080p with everything on low, but the view distance, we're gonna put that on far, and then we're gonna see how it performs. I'm also recording with Radeon Relive, so that's gonna give you like a 2 to 3% performance hit. It's not a big deal. Okay, Frenzy Farm, baby. It's always the place to go. Somebody above. There he is. Ooh. Oh, that was easy. I totally freaked out. Okay, ooh, a sniper. Is there anybody outside? Let's go outside. All right, guys, so we're getting anywhere from like 70 to like 100 FPS depending on like where we are, which is definitely playable. What I would recommend is probably capping the FPS at like 70 just so it's a little bit smoother. I did get a few spikes here and there, but nothing that makes it unplayable. It's still a ton of fun. That is Overwatch. We're not going to be display based, but I think medium is a good graphical setting. Let's change this to 100%. We're at 1080p. Ooh, that was a big frame dip right there. Okay. I suck. Where did she go? Thank you. Reaper's dead. Lucio, you're next. Okay. Everything's pegged at 100 right now. So doing a large-scale team fight, it's going to get intense. So I would probably recommend turning down the settings a little bit to low maybe capping the frames to 60, you'll get a much better experience. So the next game, which if it will respond, is World of Tanks. Everything in World of Tanks is at high. It was the recommended setting, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't think anything is frame capped. Ooh, don't shoot your allies. Might be. Okay, so in World of Tanks, you're gonna get somewhere between like around 70 frames per second. It's gonna be very consistent. GPU is gonna be pegged at 100, but CPU is actually doing pretty well. It has some room to spare. So, assuming that's the case, this might be a decent game to actually stream. For Rainbow Six Siege, we are playing at 1080p with low settings, the low preset. Extract the hostage. Okay, let me see if I remember how to play it. I know this is not how you're meant to do it. You're meant to like throw your robot or drone in there or whatever. What if I shot the hostage? Yeah, so performance here is pretty good. GPU is pegged again at 100. CPU has a little bit of room to spare, so streaming might be an option for this game. We'll see. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay, so the last thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna try streaming. Now, this is a little bit ambitious, I will agree, especially with the specs that we have, but it's a case of why not, you know? Streaming is getting popular. A lot of people like to stream, even if they're not trying to get big. So I want to try it on this budget system. I've never done that before. So the settings that we have for OBS, I use the standard auto config wizard, and I believe 720p 30 is the output stream that we're going to see. So I'm going to start streaming. Settings are going to be the same. The only difference is that I capped the FPS to 60 just for consistency. The lobby was pretty glitchy here and there, but I'm looking at the stream right now and the stream looks solid. Oh my gosh. Dude, I bet all the people who actually play Fortnite. Oh no, no. Okay, I just saw this guy. Where did he go? Okay, I gotta kill. Alright, three. Ooh. Dang it, no. Alright, that's it. For under 300 bucks, you can build yourself an awesome value, brand new, upgradable gaming computer. One thing that I do want to mention is that the video card that I got actually had a faulty fan on it, so it was overheating. I already emailed the seller and I'll let you guys know what he says back, but I'm sure it's going to be a quick fix. Stuff like that happens all the time with brand new parts that you can buy from Newegg or anything. The way I fixed it was I thankfully had an MSI RX 460. I switched the coolers and it worked just fine. I want to be as transparent as possible with this entire process, but don't let this deter you from actually buying the video card. The 60-day warranty is there for a reason, and I'm sure the seller is going to be super cooperative when it comes to returning this or fixing this. I'm super excited about this computer and I'm excited for you guys to build it too. Remember, all the links are down in the description. I already have everything set up for you. You just have to add them to your cart and buy. If you liked it, leave a like. If you loved it, share, subscribe, all of that stuff. Send this computer to a friend who wants to get into PC gaming but doesn't know how. I'm sure this will be a great entry-level build for them. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.